Hello and welcome to today's video. Today's video is all about the gear I'm going to take on my road trip now that we are fully vaccinated and headed from Sammamish, Washington to Cedar City, Utah to visit my in-laws. So join me on this journey of what's in the bags and the philosophy behind them. You'll learn a little bit about some tips and tricks and my philosophy behind packing for a road trip. So let's get started with the philosophical side of things. And when I'm doing photography stuff, not a minimalist packer oftentimes. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, I don't travel a ton, so I want to take advantage of the opportunities when they're available and have all the necessary technical things I might need to create the photos I want. So most of my life I prefer to be a little more minimal, but when I'm doing photography trips, I tend to be not minimal. The other thing to tell you about is this is kind of split into two parts. There's I gotta bring the office. I'm going to be traveling during finals week during the photography classes I teach, so I need to be reachable for Zoom meetings. As well as doing grading and assessments and things like that, as well as emails and all that good stuff of communication. So I'm basically bringing a lot of the stuff that's in this room, but what's pretty amazing is the size of the bag it fits into, or bags actually. So there will be the video / office component of this, and then there will be the photography only kind of day trip. What do I bring with me for that kind of stuff? So let's get started with the video gear bag. So we'll start that off with my trusty 16-inch MacBook Pro, 1 terabyte SSD and 16 gigs of RAM. If you listen closely, you can hear its fan working while I'm running Ecamm Live here to make this recording. So looking forward to the M1 days ahead when that fan may not spin up. Next, we're going to add, for the video side of things, the XT3 with the battery grip and power, so I don't have to worry about batteries so much. That is outfit with the Viltrox 23mm f1.4, which is a great lens for headshot videos like you're seeing right now. So there you go. Next up, we're going to add a tripod. We're going to add this handy dandy Siri tripod. It's carbon fiber. Oh, excuse me, Oben. It's an Oben tripod. I apologize. And it's carbon fiber, and it's 3 leg segments. Plus, it has a center column you can attach if you want. Nice ball head, relatively inexpensive. But this is what I'll use for desktop video conferencing kind of stuff on the road. Next up, I'll add some headphones. These Sony big cans. They're comfy, can wear them for long periods of time, and I like the way they sound. They're not great, but I like the way they sound. They're good enough for me. Next, we're going to add a portable hard drive, a 5 terabyte spinning disk hard drive. That'll have my photo library on it. It's a backup of it, but I'll save my new photos to there as well. So I also have my working video files as a backup from my RAID drive here. So it's my portable version of The Office again. Then we're going to add to that a 2 terabyte SSD. That'll be my backup stuff for content. The road trip content will get backed up to the SSD. Why don't I reverse that? Well, the working stuff on the SSD, I just have too many photos to fit on the SSD, and I wanted to bring them all just in case. So there you go. Like I said, I'm not a minimal packer. Next, we're going to add another set of headphones, some Beats, Power Beats Pro. Those are good for kind of incognito when I don't want to wear the big cans, although they're not quite as comfortable in my ears sometimes. I don't know if I'm allergic to the tips or something, but they're kind of bugging my ears right now because they're in ear. Next up, we have the new gadget for me, which is the DJI OM4, which is a smartphone gimbal. I'm going to give that a try for creating B-roll content for my videos, and I'm trying to level up my game here a little bit besides just the talking head. So, I mean, as much fun as this space is, this could be funner. We'll see. You can let me know in the comments below in future videos. Well, I guess you can let me know on this video. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. We're going to bring a power cord with a 3-gang outlet because you can never have enough places to plug stuff in. Even in a hotel room or in my in-laws' place, I don't know what I'm going to have, so I'm going to bring my own. I'm also going to bring audio. I'm going to bring a microphone cable that converts 3.5 millimeter to XLR. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Also, always make sure, especially when you go to the desert, to bring some lip balm because chapped lips are no fun for anybody. So on the audio side, continuing that, we're going to add some Rode Wireless Go. It's a transmitter and receiver, very small and compact. They charge via USB-C, so no power bricks needed, and that's kind of handy. I'm going to use that when I do any audio stuff. If I do need to, I'm going to run it through the Focusrite 2i2 Scarlett 2i2. I'll have all the links below. Audio interface, which will get the audio from the Wireless Go into my computer if I so desire. I'm not sure I'm going to need that, but again, this runs, on USB-C power, so I don't need to bring a separate power brick. And not having separate power bricks for all these devices is kind of helpful in minimizing what is not a minimal kit. I'm going to bring a USB-C hub for plugging in SD cards, multiple USB devices to my MacBook Pro. This one is by Hyper. Then I'm going to bring some power for that MacBook Pro to plug it into a wall. And here is the Rode Wireless Lav that I'm using right now. Well, it's not wireless, excuse me. It's called the Rode Lavalier Go, I think is the name. Yeah, Lavalier Go. It's not wireless, but I plug it into the wireless transmitter I showed you earlier so that I'm wireless, except for the wire that goes to the transmitter and the wire that goes from the transmitter to the audio interface. I'm wireless-ish. Carrying on, with a wired mic for some ambient sound on B-roll and things, I'm going to bring a compact mic. It's the Rode Wireless Micro. No, it's not wireless. I keep saying that. Sorry. It's the Rode Micro. Rode Micro. I'll put that on my camera and then plug in and record audio right to the camera if I need for that. I am of a certain age where these are helpful, especially when you're eating strange food. Not strange food, unfamiliar food. So bring some Tums Rolaids kind of things. Yes, you never know. Be happy. Next, I'm going to add some lights. These lights I'm using are these guys. Actually, let's do this. It's the Nanlite Pavotube 6C. It's about 8-10 inches of nice light power. This is an RGB WW, so it'll do daylight balance or very light colors as well as effects. It's a pretty nice soft light because I'm not going to be able to bring my big Godox light. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. These will be a nice portable. I'll have 2 of these light source. The other one I'm currently using is above my head hair light. Back to the overhead. A bag of cables and crap, call it, just because this has multiple versions of USB-A to USB-C, USB-A to Lightning, USB-C to USB-C, USB-A to micro USB, mini USB, all the flavors. There's probably about 15 cables in there just to make sure I can plug everything in. Carrying on with the overhead, we're going to add a way to get the video signal out of my camera into my computer, and that's done by the Elgato Camlink 4K with a HDMI to micro HDMI connector. Then I'm going to bring some power with for emergencies in the field or just when I run out of USB outlets in my car. I've got two of them. One designed for the smaller ones for like phones and such, relatively low power devices. And then I also recently purchased this larger power delivery device. So this will power the cameras, the XT3, my wife's XT4. It'll run power to my computer if I need to. So can you tell I'm a dad? I'm covering my bases. So making sure I got all the stuff I need. No surprises or minimal surprises. Next, I'm going to add some pens to the mix because you never know when a bright idea might strike in the old school way. That's just fun to write down. I do like writing ideas down old school with pens and markers and such. And last but not least, apologize that it's upside down here. I will make it right side up in a moment. Wilhelmina mints. Get them at your Trader Joe's and other fine retail outlets. These are really yummy mints. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. I put them in my bag because it's a good thing. So that's my kind of office in a bag. The bag it's going to primarily go in is this Peak Design 30-liter everyday backpack. This is part of Series 1. I just recently got it. It was on a good sale through our friends at B&H. I have not used it yet, so I'll report back on that in a while, how it's a little different loading, but it holds a ton of stuff, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, let's move on. What do we got next? We're moving on to the camera gear bag. So this will be the stuff for focusing, pardon the pun, on photography things. So we're going to start with my XT3 in the small rig grip that I really like to just give a little bit extra. It's got it's an L plate grip. So it's got vertical if I want to do vertical photos on a ball head, as well as horizontal underneath. But the coolest thing about this grip is, I just already took it out, sorry. The coolest thing about this grip is this little magnetic key that you can use to undo Arca Swiss plates, screws, and all sorts of stuff. And it's magnetic, so it's always there, never gets lost. Genius. Why doesn't everybody do this? I don't know. Also, I do like the wood. Small rig. I'm a fan. Next up, we're going to add the 70-300. I have a separate review about this lens if you want to watch that. I really enjoy this lens. I'm hoping to try to do some abstract landscapes while we're there in the desert. Give that a try. And then I'm going to also have my main lens will be the 18-135 zoom lens. That'll do probably most of the work of photography while I'm out and about. Also have a review on that lens. I'll drop a card here for that. And then completing the trifecta, if you will, is the 10-24 for those wide shots. That lens is currently recording overhead. Hello there. So those will be the main lenses I have in the bag that I'm going to be taking. And speaking of the bag for daily out and abouts, it will be this, what is it? Peak Design 10-liter shoulder sling thing. That's not what they call it, but that's what I call it. Well, I just did call it that. Anyway, so that's what I'll carry stuff in, those three lenses. I'll occasionally throw in the 50mm if I want to be a little more subtle or low light situations, the 50mm f2. It's a really great lens, fast focusing, awesome quality. So I'll use that as well. And then I'll also throw in a whole bunch of batteries because XT3. Yeah, it just uses a lot of batteries. I'll have at least 3 with me, probably a total of maybe 5 to 6 with all the video and that going on. We're also going to add one more lens. We're going to add the Viltrox 23mm 1.4, which is recording this video. Again, it's another prime lens, great quality, good focus, speed, at least in my experience. I want to try it out some more for photography. I haven't used it that much for that because it sits here doing this most of the time. So I'm looking forward to giving that a try and trying some new things with that lens. We're going to add a tripod, which is the Benro, whatever this one is, this Benro, which I quite like. It is cool because it's got blue highlights on it. That's kind of fun. Oh, by the way, stickers. Stickers are good. This sticker I got from Moo. It's a 1-inch sticker, moo.com. And I also use it because it's perfect size. Who knew? For end caps. So I put those so you can see my logo on my stuff. Pretty exciting. I really like this tripod. It's lightweight, even though it's just aluminum. It's under $100. The ball head's really sturdy. No slop, no drift when you set the camera on it. And it's a nice sturdy, again, value-wise, pretty impressed with this and looking forward to taking it on the road. Also going to be taking on the road, of course, my extension tubes, my favorite photographic accessory, value accessory. These guys get close-up photos if we come across that opportunity. So I'll be using that. I will also be adding the 2x teleconverter. We'll see how that works. I know I like it on my 50 to 140. I have had varying success on the 70 to 300, but not that big, so why not give it a try? So that's the 2x teleconverter. Also, we'll bring a polarizer for potential daylight sky photos, as well as a neutral density filter I'm going to try some time lapses, get some of those desert sunsets, desert cloud formations. Maybe we'll get a storm or something. Yeah, so we'll see what we get. And that concludes that. However, there's a few more things I think that are important to bring with. There's a few more things. One is to make sure to bring extra memory cards. Extra memory cards. In case something fails. I've never had one fail, but just in case, or if you need extra storage and or backup. My strategy will be if I do get to fill up a card, I will just take it out. I won't reformat it. I'll put it in here, swap a new one. So I've got multiple layers of backup. The other thing I'm going to bring is business cards. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know where you're going to have a conversation. So if you can let them know about who you are and what you do. These are also done through moo.com. You can do variations, all sorts of, I think I did 6 or, how many did I do? 10 variations? So I got a little bit of wedding, a little bit of landscape, a little bit of nature, fine art stuff. So let people know what you do. Let them know. So what's cool about all this, I think, is I can basically take and duplicate everything I can do here in this space in a couple bags that aren't that heavy, and I can take it with me, with the exception of the big light. My main light, not going with. So that's pretty cool. It's a great gift that we can take and replicate all that we do normally when we go on the road. So we can either stay functional or have fun or a combination thereof. So there you go. That's what I'm bringing with. What would you bring with? What did I miss? Anything I missed? If you want to add some comments, share some wisdom about traveling, because it's been a while since I've done it. I'd be glad to receive that in the comments below. I'm going to be sharing some videos from the road and future videos in this sequence on this channel. So if you want to see those, please subscribe. You'll also get some updates through the channel posts for that. You can also find me on Instagram at msladicphoto. And follow along there as well. I'll be posting photos both from the road and from pretty places in Utah. So there you go. If you like this video, if you give it a thumbs up, that helps train YouTube about quality videos. It's always a good thing to do. If you have a thought, comment to share, again, leave that below. Look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be some content from that road trip, I hope. And until then, stay well, stay safe, and have fun out there creating photos. So bye for now.